The wind was still.
If you see something, be interested to tell Bill, because I've got to follow him with this
Strata that you've gone through and followed the seam. This is the natural seam top. This is an overcast where the return air is going over the intake air.
Will we get out of the breeze here in just a minute?
The breeze is near the shaft. That's velocity.
Got a low line here.
Oh, you don't have a long haul in here yet. Don't have one yet.
Now, how deep are we?
About 2,200 feet.
Yeah, I want to get.
Not the ear of the highway.
1 of these days it'll come all the way down.
After this fine, you're going to have to play with that drum.
I told him I should do it.
Dennis for over side of the road. Stop. Somebody might be at one second. He turned around and heard the road. They never fought. He slept it out.
Relevant.
Hey, Jerry, what did you run?
stage that he sets in. I can remember when I started in the mines, it didn't have any of that there. See, in the last few years, that's come on. That's safety. That's a safety factor for that operator there of the forward roof.
Crush it here for us so we don't get big pieces on the belt. Screw up the belt.
Have y'all got just about a way to burlap? I see y'all got some type of
Burlap can't hold the pressure.
I went down in there, the whipping, and that's about all I seen down there on burlap.
Section corner right there, who's in charge of this section?
Want the lantern?
I see a good shuttle car here now for these TV people.
they hadn't just cut crosscut through and started in the face, in trouble.
Yeah.
I'd be up around the cam corner.
And they must just.
Things kind of long.
They're close enough for you? I'll tell you what I'm going to try. You know, listen.
I'll tell you one damn thing, next contract, I'm gonna count them helpers over there and see if we can't get a few more put on these roofs.
Connie, you need to be up here.
Okay.
All right, first thing, you got to keep plenty of rock dust down. Make sure you got plenty of air on the faces, keep the gas out. And on roof bolting, they got on 5-foot centers. That's to help hold support at the top. And keep your roadways wet and pushed, keep float dust from building up. Just set your timbers where you need them set and stuff like that. Just, you name it.
What do you do to keep track of the buildup of gas, methane gas?
Well, on a miner, you got a continuous methane monitor on there. It just constantly running. It shows how much methane you got. If it gets up to 1 point, I think it's 7 on the miners, it knocks the power. But usually, when it gets 1, 2, 1, 3, they start improve ventilation then. And at 1.5, they pull the power on the whole section.
Now, what we saw a moment ago with the canvas being stretched along the wall, was that where you had a point where you had to improve the ventilation?
No, that's that's for your return. You got intake air coming up, and yet the canvas just keeps your air going down the return, keeps all your gas from being out in here. It just puts all your gas down the return and sends it outside.
One last question. How do you feel working a half a mile below the surface of the earth every day?
That's a hard answer there. Ain't nothing you can do but grin and bear it. That's
You ever feel anything at all? Do you ever stop to realize it?
Well, I try not to let it bother me. You don't know the truth about it. Ain't much else you can do.
Was your father or grandfather a coal miner?
Well, my dad was for about 4 or 5 years, but that's about all. I just got into it from working construction and just moved on down in it.
All right, Bill.
Got them shooting wide just to.
Okay. From the standpoint of the United Mine Workers, what do you try to stress when it comes to safety in an underground mine in Alabama?
Well, mostly on safety is a matter of attitude and cooperation. It's a job that has a tremendous amount of responsibility that goes with it. The men as well as management has to accept that responsibility, accept the inherent danger of the job, come into the mine and do what he knows to do, and the procedures and steps that have been set out for him, and follow those procedures and steps, and produce coal, and we'll all be in the business for a long time.
Ms. Carr, from the standpoint of management, what do you see as your biggest step towards safety with production?
Well, safety and production go hand in hand. Always have in all sorts of industries. That in fact happens, and in this one in particular. We have hazards, yes, we have hazards in coal mining. What we try to get is a system that will overcome those hazards and make the production as safe as possible, safe as any other system. We have hazards of gas, methane. We have hazards of depth here, and we regulate and organize our system of mining to overcome these hazards. And what I'd like to indicate, I think, is that the system of mining can in fact be as safe as any other system. Because you've got hazard doesn't really mean that you are unsafe. You have to organize your system in order to be safe. And that, I think, is what we attempt to do. The bigger the hazard, of course, the better the organization and system has to be in order to overcome those hazards.